Okay guys, what's up? It's me, and we're gonna do a quick patch notes here. It just dropped. I just opened the Steam and saw the update and opened it up for the first time. I just popped open these notes. So let's go over these together. First things first, on the list here, has Trapper is added to Hero Labs. So let's go take a peek at it real quick. So if you go into sandbox mode, make sure you have this show experimental heroes check, because I didn't know this existed. I don't know if they just added this in the patch or if it was already there. But anyways, if you click this, you can see the experimental heroes. I didn't know that. So here's Trapper. Okay. Trapper can infest the battlefield with their haunted spiders, leaving latent curses in key areas. If you let the Trapper have their way, you won't be able to navigate the map without springing some sort of trap. Cool. All right, so let's go. So one bottled phantasmicide. Throw a jar that leaves a pool of poison dealing damage, spirit damage, and slowing. Okay, the pool spreads over time, growing in size. And it looks like you are going to increase your duration, your radius, and your damage with the tiers, right? So let's take a peek at that. Let's turn on cooldown, I guess. So I'm not... Is it growing in size? Oh, I guess it is. Okay. Oh, it just grows really slow. Okay. It's still noticeable. Okay. Bottled phantasmicide. So 2 is silk trap. Create a thread of web between two surfaces. Enemies who touch the web takes spirit damage and are slowed. So obviously a spider theme going on here. And then you're going to add it with the level ups. I can't talk today, sorry guys. You're going to have extra charge, the web duration, and the web also disarms for 4 seconds. So, okay, so just, yeah. Cool. Let's go trap this guy. Nice. Yeah, so slows, does damage, right? And also disarms at the tier 3. So that is Silk Trap. Then we have Pest Barrier. Apply a barrier to a target, granting Spirit Shield as long as the shield holds. It periodically deals spirit damage and slows. It periodically deals spirit damage and slows. So it's for an ally or yourself. So, yeah. Cool. That's nice. That's a nice, easy, like, low skill cap skill to use, right? Throw it on yourself, throw it on an ally. So this is... Okay, sorry. Let's look at the... Oh, yeah. So, yeah, cooldown, Spirit Shield goes up, and radius increases with the tiers. And the ult is Crawling Plague. Release a wave of spectral... I really cannot talk today. Release a wave of spectral spiders that chase enemies and explode, dealing spirit damage. Hit enemies are poisoned temporarily losing spirit and spirit resist. I just woke up, so I'm having issues here. It is like 5 p.m., so don't judge me. This effect can stack multiple times. Okay, so a wave of spectral spiders. Ooh. Hey, where's my sound? I didn't have a cast sound. So it's going to decrease the cooldown, tier 1, tier 2, additional spirit and spirit resistance, and then summon 5 more spiders for tier 3. Cool. That's a lot of spiders. So basically a big wall that, let's read it again. They chase enemies, they explode during dealing damage, then they are poisoned, and they lose resistances. And it can stack. Okay, cool. I like this guy already for me, just because, I don't know, at my old age, I'm not like trying to sweat too hard, and this guy's kit is pretty effing easy. You just throw a big AoE, right? you just lay a trap. You don't have, they walk through that. You don't even have to, you just lay it down and then leave it, right? Easy. You throw a shield on yourself or an ally, just easy one-click cast, and you just forget about it. Fire and forget, basically, right? And then this thing is also the ult. I mean, you just cast it and it's a giant wall of spiders that chase the enemies down for you. So I'm already loving this person. So fork yeah. Okay, that's it. I don't want to spend too much time here. Let's go back to the notes. Okay, so added Trapper to Hero Labs. Next, added support for Hero Labs in private lobbies, private bot games, and sandbox that can be used at any time. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Various adjustments to experimental heroes. Okay, so they tweaked the heroes. Added quick buy. You can now right-click items in shop to add them to your quick buy queue. When you return to the shop, you will automatically purchase the items you can afford in your set order. An indicator on the HUD will light up when you can afford the next item in your list. Settings you may change. Okay, this is awesome. Just quality of life. You can just queue up, basically, I'm guessing several items maybe, or maybe it's just one at a time. And yeah, you just don't have to worry about it, because it can be daunting to go through all those items and those 3 big pages of items, right? Because especially when you're not familiar with them. So super cool, new player friendly stuff. I'm expecting to see a lot of stuff like that in the future. All right, the shaders, map, and various other resources will now pre-compile on the dashboard to improve loading times when getting into a match. This also reduces in-game hitching in some cases. So just, yeah, nice little client buff there. And by the way, you guys, I feel like such a tool bag, because when I logged into Deadlock today, it sent me a notification that it hasn't before. It reminded me that my display, my monitor, was running at 60 hertz instead of the 165, right? So if you have a nicer like gaming monitor, it doesn't even have to be a gaming monitor, they can go up to 165 hertz refresh rate. So for those of you who do not know, it's how many basically frames per second you're seeing of on the screen. So 60 is the lowest, and 165 is that's a solid good, that's kind of what you want to aim for. You can go higher, but it's not necessary, right? So the setting, I had switched it to 165 earlier when I got this monitor, but at some point it must have changed down and I just didn't know it. So for who knows how many months now, like a dingleberry, I've been playing on 60 hertz, just much lower quality of life gaming, and not even realizing it, just being really stupid. And since I switched it, it's just a night and day difference. Obviously, it's literally easier on your eyes, and I cannot believe I didn't catch it. So really quick, for those of you who do not know, maybe you're having the same situation, or maybe you don't even know how to switch it. Maybe you don't even know if your monitor can do it. I'm going to show you how. Okay. So you open up your settings, go to display, go down to advanced display settings, and then click on this right here, display adapter properties for display 1. If you have 2 monitors, it'll have 2 of these, but you just click on the one. You're probably just going to have one. Anyways, you click here. Okay. And you go to monitor, and you screen refresh rate. So I had it at 60, and you're going to have different settings. Make sure it's on the highest one. It just makes such a huge difference. It's so much smoother. I'm sure you know this already, but just in case you didn't know, there you go. Okay, cool. Back to this. Okay, added. Let's zoom in a bit here. Is that better? Okay. Added visual indicator when browsing builds that shows which item types are most present in the build. Weapon, vitality, or spirit. Cool. Added a recent purchase log to the shop that displays all items bought by players during a match, ordered by most recent. Okay, this is cool because it says all bought by players. So I'm guessing you can see the enemies. Yeah, it'll show the enemies builds too. So if you're paying attention, you'll have a good idea of what the enemy is buying and what your team is buying. That way you can itemize correctly. Like, you know, if your team already has a bunch of heal cut, like heal banes or toxic bullets, then you may not want to buy a second or a third one because it would just be too redundant, right? So this is actually really good. And likewise for the enemy team, if you can see that they are building, oh, I don't know, a bunch of spirit armor and you're going a spirit build, then you might want to get some items that have like spirit penetration, right? For example. So that's really cool. Good players will be watching this constantly. Added support for, also this is better because, you know, it takes a lot of time. If you want to go check, you can go see what the enemy items have, like the enemy team, but it's kind of a chore to go, you know, hover over their portrait and then down to where their items are and kind of go through each of those, especially if you don't have each of those little icons, the graphics memorized, like what they are. You're going to have to read them all, and it just takes a lot of time. So this is going to be good to keep up on that. Okay, so added support for the new Steam game recoding timeline API. This automatically adds timeline markers for kills, deaths, and team objectives. Cool. Added checkbox in settings to force the game to take focus when the game is unpaused. Let me drink some water here. Delicious. You can now hover party members on the dashboard while in queue to view their roster. Nice. Active reload indicator UI slightly adjusted. Added frenzy text to when you own frenzy and go below 50% health. Added a social tab to the settings dialog. This contains streamer mode. Added support for Steam content filtering settings and a new setting to adjust incoming chat visibility. Okay, nice. Hero stats on the left side of the HUD are now hidden by default and can be viewed by holding Alt-Tab. Okay, when a stat, Alt or Tab, not Alt-Tab, that didn't make sense. Alt or Tab. When a stat is temporarily increased or decreased, it will show by default for the duration. Added hover tooltip descriptions to stats on the left side of the HUD. Okay, let's see. I don't want to go through all these if I don't have to, so let's just kind of see. Boss will be more aggressive. I don't care about that. These are just all little quality of life changes. These aren't that important or like fun for us to go over, right? You know, fixed gray talent getting assist credit. So these are just things that should have already been. Fixed some animation issues with Vindicta. Added a new zipline animation for Vindicta. So just very kind of little specific things. Okay. So we're going to skip those. We don't need to look at that. Okay. This is huge. Troopers no longer change soul sharing rules after laning phase ends, meaning two heroes don't split souls, okay? So after the laning phase ends, you no longer can just ignore creeps. Say you're in a lane, you know, you are, you know, you have, you know, two or even more of your team in a lane and you're clearing minions and your whole team's kind of in that mode. You're not really fighting, like team fighting. You're just kind of clearing jungles and lanes together. Now you're going to want to, you know, be choosy. Like, do you let your allies kill those minions and get the souls, or do you need some yourself? Because you're going to actually have to last hit those. In the past, you could just let your allies kill the minions and share the spirits, but no longer anymore. Okay. Troopers no longer increase their bounty by 20% at 8 minutes. Okay. Troopers no longer increase their bounties. So there's going to be less spirits or gold in the game because of this metric here. Hero kill gold increased from 150 to 1400 to 175 to 2000. Okay, so that kind of makes up for this right here. Neutral creeps will now give 5% less gold. Okay. Troopers now take 28% more damage from guardians. Okay. I like this because especially in the early game, you know, it does seem like the guardians take a little bit too long to kill the troopers, And this will allow for people not being able to take your tower so early. Say you just kind of misplayed a little bit in the first like 2-3 minutes of the game, you know, they shouldn't be able to take your tower in just a couple minutes, no matter how badly you messed up. And this will help that because they will kill those troopers. So that will allow you a little bit of leeway. Also, this will let you jungle more efficiently. Say you wanted to, you shouldn't really be doing this, but say you wanted to jungle, or you're late, you're out jungling and you're a little bit late getting back to lane to get those minions. Well, now the Guardian will kill those minions. You'll lose those spirits, but at least your Guardian won't take as much damage because it will be killing those troopers quicker. But also, it's interesting to note that, you know, you might want to get back there faster as well, because you're going to lose the spirits for the troopers that the Guardian is killing faster that you may have gotten in the past before they did this change. So I mean, 30% change, that's pretty, that's 30%. Walker's damage versus players increased by 10. Okay, this is good. I think overall, the towers just need to be stronger. Guardians will now focus their attack on enemy players if an enemy player shoots a hero and the enemy player is within 15 meters of the Guardian. This changes the game so much. Like, this is a huge change. I'm trying to visualize in my head what 15 meters is, because I'm still learning the distances, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty far. Like, if you see this paradox here, I'm pretty sure 15 meters is, you know, maybe even beyond this creep here. So basically, it's going to be a lot harder to dive enemy heroes under towers, because the towers will aggro on you if you shoot a hero. This is really big. And I mean, this is the way most MOBAs are, you know, if you're playing Dota, if you're playing League of Legends, if you're playing, I mean, as far as I can recall, any other MOBA, this is the way they are. So I was kind of surprised that it was this way in Deadlock. You're going to have a lot more safety under the towers. And this is what towers should do. I mean, they're literally called guardians, right? They're supposed to guard you. So if they're too stupid to not focus the enemy heroes when they're diving you, killing you, instead of just shooting the troopers, then they're not even holding up to their name, right? So this is huge. And this is what I'm used to. This is what most, you know, MOBA players are used to. I mean, I can't really say enough that this is going to change the game a lot. And so I'm guessing, you know, this is going to make laning phase, again, a little bit safer for you. Because not only are they killing the troopers 30% faster, they're also doing more damage and to the heroes, and they're gonna be protecting you better. So laning phase should last longer. You're going to be allowed to make more mistakes in lane and not get punished so heavily in the early game. Say you die once and then they just take your tower in a duo lane, like, that's too much, you know, that's too much. You're gonna be able to make more mistakes now. So okay, moved 8 neutral camps, 4 on each side, from outside of the outer lanes behind the walkers to in between inner and outer lanes. In between. From outside the outer lanes to in between the inner. Okay, so they moved these to here, the white to the red, and I mean, I like it. It'll make jungling more efficient and faster because you won't have to travel all the way to the outskirts of the map, you know, which admittedly is pretty far out there. You know, if you're trying to conserve on time, you can it'll just be more localized in the center. So cool. Added cosmic veils to the ground floor entrances to the mid. Okay. Biased urn delivery locations move slightly closer to neutral positions. Cool. So I like this. You know, yeah, this is good. It's not going to be as hard to deliver the urn when you're ahead, because the cap point won't be as close to the enemy patron. Minor adjustments to respawn curve. 40-second respawns happening at 20 minutes now. Happens at 17. Okay. So you're respawning later, earlier in the game, if that makes sense. Walker armor loss over time now happens at 16 minutes instead of 14. Trooper spirit resist goes to 30% instead of 40. Mid-boss rejuve trooper health increased by 30%. Fixed troopers resistance against base guardians not working properly. Okay. So yeah, you'll notice some tempo differences in the game. I'm sure, you know, this stuff is going to change a little bit pretty much every patch. Just be ready for that. So I'm not going to go too far into that because it'll probably change in a couple weeks as they slowly dial everything in. Okay. Redesign the warehouse interior to allow entry from the fronts of the tenements and music hall buildings. Move the stairs from the warehouse interior to the underground tunnel further from the urn delivery location. Cool. Removed all railings from the fire escape stairs. Pass at making rooftops smoother to navigate. Removed angled supports from chimney. Removed collision from small props. Okay. Added stairs on top of the bodega. Interesting. So they replaced small chimneys and temporary spikes with larger spikes to designate zap trigger locations. Okay. So when you see these spikes, you'll know that you'll get hit by the thunderbolts from being too high up in the air. Which makes sense. These changes were included early in the map update that came with the Halloween patch. So, new hotel building art pass. Okay, so this is already applied. Changed exit location from the player spawn area to the rest of the base to angled walls. Okay. Cool. So, just for the sake of brevity, I don't want to go over all of these weapon items. Also, I'm having issues like pronouncing things today, apparently, so I don't want to stumble over my words just saying all this stuff for the next 30 minutes. But let's see if there's anything that like really jumps out, you know? Looks like they did change a lot, though, to the items. So, again, the items are going to change a lot over time as they slowly dial in this brand new game, right? Still in beta, basically, or pre-release, whatever. What do we call this? I don't know. But there is a lot of stuff here that's changed. If you want, you know, in-depth information for this stuff, I suggest going to Deathy's Deadlock page, for example. He always does really good rundowns of all the item changes. And honestly, he's going to do it better with more information than me anyway. So I would recommend checking out Deathy. He's a, you know, like a pro player. He does a good job. But this isn't really what I'm super interested in talking about and getting really... I'm not like a tedious person. I'm more of a general idea kind of person. So this does not really... it interests me as far as like, I will go and read this and learn this myself, but I just don't want to do it for the YouTube video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Okay, yeah, some more items, spirit items. These are all items. Oh, hero changes. And the same thing goes for this. I'm sure there are some really big changes in here. But you know, I highly recommend reading these yourself. I hope that's not too lame of me to skip all this stuff, but it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm going to go try Trapper in the game, and maybe I will see you guys in Ranked. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. As always, please like and subscribe if you... I cannot talk today. Please like and subscribe, okay? Jesus Christ.